Hello and welcome to this presentation on ICO Launchpad. On behalf of Cynthia, Adrian, and Jeffrey, my name is Matthew Lochran, and we'll be presenting to you our ICO Launchpad organization. So what does ICO Launchpad do? Well, ICO Launchpad provides comprehensive solutions for token sales and post-ICO management, as well as a dynamic marketplace for service providers. So what does that mean? ICO stands for initial coin offering. Okay, an initial coin offering is what blockchain startup organizations normally do to provide funding for their organization. ICOs are in direct competition with seed investments coming from VC and angel providers. And what ICO Launchpad will do is provide these services for these organizations to help raise that capital. Now, our services include a complete launch platform where we securitize the token sale to prevent it from being hacked so these organizations do receive the funds they're collecting. We provide screening of service providers as well. So currently in the space, there's no one organization that has aggregated all these different service providers. So through our platform, we will not only aggregate these service providers, but we'll also provide ratings on them as well and make sure they were pre-vetted before they can be connected with these companies trying to raise funds. And we will also have a pool of investors that we will also connect these organizations with that are in the process of raising money through an ICO. Now, the opportunity for this organization, ICO Launchpad, is quite massive. So over the last few years, the initial coin offering fundraising mechanism has really taken shape. What do I mean by that? Well, in 2016, there were a total of 43 ICOs, which raised about $95 million. In 2017, there were 210 ICOs, which raised $3.8 billion. And so far this year, through January to March, there's been 153 ICOs, which have raised a total of $4.8 billion. If we just looked at the trajectory of this market based on the last 3 years and the continued adoption of this type of fundraising mechanism as more and more organizations are building on top of blockchain and seeing the benefits not only of blockchain technology, but in the process of using an initial coin offering to raise funds, as well as determining their own currency for their specific ecosystem. That puts us in a very strategic position as the market is rapidly expanding, and based on this large demand of this type of offerings, ICO Launchpad will be very well placed in the market to go ahead and capture quite a bit of this.
Hi, I'm Jeff Jackson. I'll be talking this afternoon about ICO Launchpad's marketing capabilities. ICO Launchpad's targets beginning and advanced cryptocurrency investors and those entities wishing to issue their own tokens in the burgeoning crypto market. There are no geographic boundaries for issuance due to the virtual nature of these currencies, and our company seeks interested parties worldwide. As an issuer of coin and on a comprehensive basis, ICO Launchpad seeks those who believe, as they do, that cryptocurrency is the future of wealth generation and are ready to take the next step toward this exciting future. ICOs are limited only by their size and interest. So too is the market size of ICO Launchpad. There are no restrictions to the extension of the company's influence due to all cryptocurrencies' worldwide reach. Some nations, such as China, do not permit cryptos due to overreaching government regulation. But overall, there are few barriers to ICO Launchpad's possibilities for growth. The company's ceiling is truly unlimited.
Let's talk about the competitive position of our firm. There are few competitors for ICO Launchpad, especially where the proposed platform provides comprehensive solution for initial coin offering development, launch, and post-launch management offerings. ICO Launchpad has the opportunity to capture significant market share before competitors enter the market. There are two consulting firms that will be direct head-to-head competitors, those being ICO Box and Token Market. Indirect competitors to ICO Launchpad will be traditional capital raising methods such as venture capitalists and equity-based fundraising. In July of 2017, ICOs were already over $300 million for the year, while angel and early venture capital funding was just over $200 million. ICO Launchpad faces a slew of international competition as well, with hundreds of groups, individuals, and companies seeking to board the cryptocurrency train with their ICOs, some even state-sponsored. It is incumbent on ICO Launchpad to begin by emphasizing its ease of use as a platform, diversity in what it will offer to clients through connections with expert professionals, and the safety and security of its blockchain development. The current competition has limited product line depth. In specifically looking at the offerings of ICO Box and Token Market, we have an opportunity to develop a more robust product line. The firm may offer similar products and services than its competition, but augmentation of its product with subject matter experts creates additional flexibility for the entrepreneur and marks a clear advantage for ICO Launchpad customers over the competition. The top 5 key success factors that we assessed are reputation, image, full-service consulting, qualified expert consultants, location on Google search, and fee structure. Using a weighted competitive assessment table, we are able to realize that the area of focus we will need to develop is in reputation and image, where the other categories fall into line with our direct and indirect competitors. Let's take a look at the team that will make up ICO Launchpad. ICO Launchpad is a culmination of the concentrated planning of one of its founders. The top decision maker and seasoned entrepreneur is none other than President and CEO Matthew Loughran. Matt will be supported by a Chief Operations Officer, Chief Technology Officer, and Sales Director, all of which are yet to be hired. In the beginning, ICO Launchpad will hire only 3 software developers and 2 business development or sales officers. These key employees and the board of directors will be a mix of founding members as well as specialized advisors for the cryptocurrency and initial coin offering environments. In looking at the business model of ICO Launchpad operates under as a platform, as a service, by which we do not compete directly with the thousands of global ICO consultants, advisors, and service providers. The model is set up for ICO Launchpad to be the ecosystem to facilitate successful ICOs by screening and verifying companies which want to launch ICOs and ensure they are not a scam, as well as qualifying the quality of service providers looking in to provide services. This ecosystem allows us to touch every aspect of the ICO process and create revenue at every step of the way, including the post-ICO phase, by the facilitation of governance and investor communications.
Hello, I am Cynthia Kendiff. We have some very exciting milestones and financials that I'll be presenting today. In January 2019, we will hold a private initial coin offering to raise $2 million. The funding will allow for initial capital expenditures and working capital. Next, we have our website launch, which will be ready in Q2. The technology platform will be an enterprise-level PaaS offering built upon the multi-chain blockchain. Now, focusing on our executive team, our president/CEO and seasoned entrepreneur will be one of our founders, Matt Loughran. His knowledge and connections will be instrumental in procuring top leaders in the industry. By the end of year 1, we will have the executive team in place, which will consist of a COO, CTO, and a sales director. With the assumptions in which our model is based, we have forecasted that in year 2, Q1, we will hit 1 million plus in net income. Through gained efficiencies, we will continue to see net income increase. We have allocated funds to market our services globally in year 2, and in years 5 through 7, we will start the process to procure an office in the Ukraine or in London. Having 2 locations allows us to field our clients through either office. Now we'll look at the highlights of 3 years of the 5 years of projected financials, starting with revenue. For revenue, we have forecasted approximately $410,000 per customer for year 1, with a small increase of 2.5%, with direct cost of approximately $115,000. In 2019, we have projected revenue at approximately $18 million, increasing to $35 million for 2020 and $41 million in the year 2021. We have amazing potential for growth. For the gross profit margin, we should average approximately 86% for the first 3 years. Efficiencies should start showing in years 3 and forward. We have slated in a miscellaneous expense at 1% of gross profit. The remaining expenses are in line with cost in relation to the region where our headquarters will be located, and salaries are in the median range for the industry. We have a good EBIT number with an average of 56.5% for the first 3 years. Each year our EBIT continues to grow. At year 3, it is forecasted at $22.6 million. We intend to keep our headcount low. Because we use contract labor for most of our client services, we have a higher revenue per employee average of approximately 13%. Our cash flow projections show that we retain approximately 55 cents of every dollar of revenue. Cash is king, and our business is cash rich. ICO Launchpad is slated to be a lean running, profitable business all within the first year. Our team of experts are key to our vision.
Now, as you just heard, ICO Launchpad has some very specific milestones that we'll be hitting, as well as there's quite a bit of revenue in our future. But we know no organization can get off the ground without some initial funding. Now, staying true to the blockchain and cryptocurrency sphere, ICO Launchpad will tokenize the platform and run their own ICO. So what we will do with our own initial coin offering, this will not be a public ICO. And what I mean by that is it will not be listed and advertised on different platforms. We will simply run a single private round initial coin offering consisting of accredited accredited investors from the United States or international investors to meet our goal. Now, our goal for this funding raise is only $2 million. And the token itself will provide a right to share in a company profit pool. The success rate of this funding is extremely high. Personally, I've raised several $1 million within 90-minute webinars for other organizations, and this would be no different. This would probably take us a 90-minute webinar with 2 different private pools of investors to raise the initial goal of $2 million, which I'm very confident for us to do just based on my current access within the industry. Now, obviously the upside, not only for ICO Launchpad, but in this type of fundraising model in specific, is that by raising funds ourselves through an ICO, we're not giving away equity in our organization, but we are empowering the holders of our tokens to very fast liquidity. Now, the market itself, as we've seen, is very quickly expanding, and there are no major players that are aggregating these thousands of service providers around the globe that are servicing organizations within the initial coin offering market as well as the blockchain market. Now, by funding through our own ICO, right, we're not giving away any equity, there's no voting power to investors, but we do provide them immediate liquidity on their tokens, as they can sell those tokens if they choose with no lockup period to third parties. And again, the way our token will work is that they will be giving a right to a profit pool designated by the company at a later date on how much revenue they would be able to share in as a token holder. Now, as we've seen so far throughout this presentation, the market is ripe for an organization like ICO Launchpad to step in and become the aggregator, as well as to provide verified reviews of these organizations to connect organizations wanting to run an ICO with those wanting to service it, as well as by providing a secure launch platform to ensure that all KYC and AML processes are done correctly, as well as to secure the transaction process of the token sale is becoming very important to make sure that there's no hackers involved. So thank you very much for taking the time to review this presentation. And obviously we're in a very fast moving new marketplace in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And we're glad we were able to educate you a little bit on that process as well as our organization. Thank you.